gives me an opportunity to have a creative experience with people I admire, a really intimate creative experience that is extraordinarily unusual in this business, because for most, I said to somebody, I don't even sit with my family members and talk with them for an hour and a half straight. It's a lost experience in our culture. You know, everything is, you know, everything's immediate, everything's brief, it's bursts of communication, it's texting, it's, you know, even the phone conversations are, you know, 5-10 minutes. So to sit with someone for an uninterrupted 90 minutes and talk to them about their work is a gift, and I really love it. I really, really love it. So I definitely don't want to stop making the show.
This one was a little more lively than that because they were prepping us. They're like, okay, so Geico, we're not connected to Geico. Like, that was like what our press people right before the thing, like.
We're not connected to Geico, just that we were inspired by the Geico ads, and that's where we got the idea.
Correct, but it's not an ad for Geico. The show's not an ad for Geico. That was what they were getting ready for. And then we got up there, and every question was like, so your show is racist, and how do you feel about that your show is racist?
Racist against cavemen?
Yeah, well, the idea was that cavemen, the larger idea for the show is that cavemen stood in as a metaphor for all minorities or all outsiders. So it was like, and in the pilot, the press decided, and they weren't wrong entirely, that I mean, I think they were wrong on what they were saying, but that there were a number of analogies they felt specifically to black people. Mm-hmm. So they were like, oh, so cavemen are black people, is that what you're saying? And you're racist. And it was sort of like, well, no, the idea is that we're commenting on being an outsider in a society. And so I watched, and one was like, oh, but you're saying all cavemen are good at sports? And I was like, well, wait, well, what scene led you to that? And she's like, well, there's that scene where you play horseshoes, and you're good at it. And I was like, well, I end up losing at horseshoes in that scene, so it really doesn't make any sense. Because blacks are better athletes.
We are very good at horseshoes, by the way. Yeah. It's like if we played right now, I'd kill you. Yeah.
If we played cornhole.
Well, if we played cornhole, it might be a tie. Yeah.
I'm actually pretty good at cornhole.
Because of your habanero mayonnaise skills. And so your specific horseshoe skills in the...
Yeah, led to like them being like, you're saying that blacks are better at sports. And then I was like, not really. And then the next day, there were a couple of articles that were like, using that as an example of the racism. And I was like, oh, so it was just the first time I saw the press build a story upon itself, mm-hmm. and then retell it, and then having the retell make it true, and then be able to build off of that. And then, so that was like, so there were, and then we shot the show, and the show was incredibly difficult to shoot because it was like 4 hours of makeup every morning. Mm-hmm. So I'd never had a job that was harder, but I don't think I'll ever have a job that was that taxing, because it was like, we were shooting like 90-hour weeks. Mm-hmm. It was fucking, and it was a single camera show, and so I just learned a lot, and then it went away. It was a writer's strike happened, it went away. I was very pleased.
You were happy.
To have gone away, but it was a great, and I don't think a bad show. And if you watch it compared to other shows, there's nothing worse. It's no worse than most of the stuff on. And then, am I going to get to my narrative here?
No, I mean, it's interesting because I feel like that was one of those shows that you couldn't win.
Oh yeah, no
like
way.
There was no way it could. I never saw it. I don't think I thought it was racist. I was just like, why are we so bankrupt in Hollywood that we're making a show based on a fucking commercial?
Yeah, totally. Which is totally fair. But I needed, at that point, I was like, that was like a, to get a network show was like a great stamp of approval. But yeah, no, now I probably wouldn't do a show based off a commercial.